She probably started losing attraction the exact moment you became emotionally attached to her. Yeah, that sounds brutal. But if you have ever watched a woman slowly become colder around you emotionally, you already understand this painful feeling deeply inside yourself. At first, everything feels electric, effortless, exciting, almost like you accidentally discovered perfect chemistry together naturally. She texts first constantly, laughs harder around you, and suddenly wants your attention every single day. You feel confident, masculine, emotionally relaxed because nothing feels forced between both of you anymore lately. But then something quietly changes without warning, and most men completely miss the dangerous emotional shift. You start caring more. You start replying faster. You start checking your phone every 10 minutes like an emotional addict secretly craving reassurance constantly afterward. And without realizing it, your entire energy slowly begins emotionally revolving around keeping her interested permanently. That is usually where attraction quietly begins dying. Because women rarely lose attraction through one massive dramatic mistake during relationships, emotionally over time naturally. Attraction usually disappears through tiny emotional behaviors repeated consistently without awareness every single day afterward. The double text, the instant replies, the constant availability, the nervous over-explaining, the subtle fear hidden underneath your behavior whenever emotional distance suddenly appears between both of you. And women feel that shift faster than most men emotionally realize during modern dating dynamics today, constantly. I once knew a guy who completely destroyed attraction while trying becoming the perfect boyfriend emotionally. At first, this girl genuinely liked him. You could literally see it. She touched his arm constantly, sent random selfies nightly, and always started conversations first, afterward emotionally. But eventually, he started over-investing emotionally because her attention became psychologically addictive for him internally afterward. He answered immediately every single time, even during work meetings and family dinners constantly afterward. He canceled gym sessions just because she suddenly wanted late-night emotional reassurance from him. And slowly, his confidence transformed into emotional dependency without him consciously realizing anything changed afterward psychologically. One night, she left him on red for almost 7 straight hours emotionally afterward unexpectedly. He stared at his phone like his entire emotional stability depended on receiving one notification desperately. Then he double texted, then triple texted, then apologized for sounding weird, even though nothing actually happened between them emotionally beforehand, realistically. And right there, attraction quietly started collapsing underneath the surface emotionally without him noticing immediately afterward. Because attraction does not survive inside emotional pressure for very long during modern relationships anymore today. This is what most men completely misunderstand about female psychology and emotional attraction dynamics nowadays constantly. People become emotionally attached to things, requiring emotional investment, uncertainty, and psychological effort over time naturally. Behavioral psychology proves humans emotionally value things feeling difficult obtaining or emotionally unpredictable significantly more afterward. That explains gambling addiction, luxury obsession, and toxic relationship cycles happening everywhere constantly today, emotionally speaking. The brain releases stronger dopamine whenever emotional rewards feel uncertain and psychologically unfinished afterward, naturally instead. And female attraction follows extremely similar emotional patterns during early dating stages with men, psychologically speaking. The more emotionally invested she becomes, the harder forgetting you suddenly feels for her afterward, psychologically. She starts replaying conversations inside her mind while driving home completely alone emotionally, late nightly afterward. She checks your stories, wondering where you disappeared emotionally and who currently has your attention lately. She rereads messages, searching for emotional meaning hidden underneath casual conversations between both of you afterward, constantly. But most men accidentally destroy this entire emotional process by becoming too emotionally available too quickly afterward. They remove mystery immediately. They reveal emotional dependency immediately. They make women feel emotionally certain before genuine emotional attachment ever fully develops naturally afterward, psychologically. And once certainty becomes predictable, Excitement slowly transforms into emotional comfort and emotional boredom afterward instead. Now listen carefully, because this next part completely changes how modern attraction actually works psychologically today, emotionally. Being kind never destroys attraction. Desperate validation seeking destroys attraction almost every single time. During emotional relationship dynamics nowadays, constantly instead, women instantly feel when your emotional stability secretly depends on receiving attention from them consistently. Afterward, psychologically, that pressure changes your texting patterns, your confidence, your tone, and your emotional masculine presence entirely. You stop sounding natural because every conversation suddenly feels emotionally dangerous and emotionally loaded afterward. Constantly, you start calculating responses carefully, like your entire future depends emotionally on texting perfectly afterward. Somehow, and ironically, that emotional pressure suffocates the emotional freedom attraction genuinely requires for excitement naturally afterward psychologically. Because attraction needs curiosity, it needs uncertainty, it needs emotional tension breathing naturally between two people during early attraction stages, psychologically afterward, constantly. One night, he finally stopped chasing her attention emotionally after weeks feeling emotionally exhausted internally, afterward, constantly. No double texting, no over-explaining, no emotional panic whenever she disappeared randomly throughout the day, emotionally anymore afterward completely. And suddenly, something strange happened almost immediately afterward psychologically. She started texting first again, then she sent another message, then another one. And eventually, she started emotionally chasing his attention harder than before, unexpectedly, afterward psychologically, somehow. Not because manipulation magically works on women emotionally, like social media gurus constantly claim nowadays online. It happened because emotional tension returned naturally once desperation emotionally disappeared from his behavior afterward completely. The moment he emotionally detached from needing validation, curiosity suddenly returned inside her mind naturally afterward psychologically. And curiosity is dangerously powerful during attraction, because people obsess over emotionally unfinished experiences far longer than emotionally comfortable, predictable experiences afterward, psychologically speaking. That is why unread messages emotionally haunt people longer than peaceful conversations ever realistically could afterward, naturally. That is why mixed signals emotionally addict people harder than stable, predictable relationships sometimes afterward, psychologically speaking. And that is exactly why emotionally unavailable men often seem mysteriously attractive during modern dating culture nowadays. Now, obviously, emotionally unavailable does not mean emotionally toxic or emotionally abusive toward women intentionally ever. It means your emotional world no longer revolves entirely around female attention and romantic validation anymore. You have purpose outside relationships. You have ambition outside women. You have discipline, routines, friendships, goals, and emotional stability guiding your everyday life consistently afterward, naturally. And strangely enough, that emotional independence becomes incredibly attractive within modern female psychology today, naturally afterward. Because once your attention feels emotionally earned instead of permanently guaranteed, attraction changes dramatically afterward psychologically. Women stop feeling emotionally trapped inside predictability and start feeling curiosity again, naturally, afterward, instead, psychologically. And honestly, the darkest truth about attraction is probably this right here. Emotionally speaking, today, women rarely leave suddenly. They emotionally disconnect quietly while pretending everything still feels normal, outwardly, between both people, afterward, constantly. By the time she finally leaves, her attraction usually disappeared weeks earlier, emotionally, without obvious warning signs. That is why desperate chasing almost never restores attraction. After emotional detachment fully happens, afterward, psychologically anymore. Because attraction cannot survive inside fear, emotional dependency, and constant validation seeking behaviors permanently afterward anymore. And the terrifying part is, she probably wanted the original version of you instead, emotionally. The calm version, the ambitious version, the emotionally centered version before insecurity slowly changed your masculine energy completely afterward, psychologically somehow. But once you finally understand how attraction actually works emotionally, everything changes permanently afterward, psychologically speaking. Because the next mistake most men make after this completely destroys emotional mystery even faster afterward.